Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Dennis Unchauskas. Today is the 18th of September 2018, of course. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's morning session where we're going to have a look at the markets and a few instruments we're going to have a look at their charts, how they're performing. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers website and specifically our JFD research page, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. And yeah, feel free to check us out, and I believe you can find a lot of useful stuff here for yourselves, guys. So yep, do not hesitate to visit our website. But for now, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to talk about is the FTSE MIB, now the Italian index here. So, looking at this formation here, you can see that we're trading here, well, it was actually trading here lower, but recently, in the end of August, actually, we saw its reversal back to the upside, and now the Italian index continues to kind of slowly grind higher here, trying to push itself higher. And as you can see by the charting, and first of all, guys, I do apologize for the amount of lines on my chart, but it kind of coincides here with my previous analysis, but I'll get rid of those while I will be talking. So, but anyway, so for now, the main focus here is on this downside support line, actually, which you can see that it was trading nicely here above it, but then on the 16th of August, so basically mid-August, we broke to the downside. It acted as a nice area of resistance, this downside support line, and now on the 10th of September we managed to get back above it, broke it to the upside. The index closed above it, and of course a few times here tried to break below it and close below it, but to be honest, the bulls managed always to push it back up, and now we're seeing this strong candle here reversing to the upside and pushing higher, where it's meeting its good area of resistance near the 21,150 level. So keep your eyes on that one. At the same time, as you can see here, we do have this downside resistance line running here from the peak of the 7th of May, and of course right now you can see that it kind of broke it to the upside. So well, to be more precise, yesterday it broke it to the upside. It closed above that line here, but still closed below this 21,150 level. So in a way, we're gonna still remain somewhat more bullish on the short-term outlook. We're gonna see how it's gonna perform. Certainly there are some key levels here for us in order for us to go longer term higher here on this one. We would need to see a few levels broken here on the upside, but we'll get to those later on. For now, of course, if we're going to jump into the 4-hour chart, so basically a nice break here above this 21,150 could open the path towards, actually let me just get rid of this line. This is no longer relevant, and the next potential area of resistance that we're going to keep an eye on will be this little level right here, near the 21,450. Let me just quickly round it up here, and this is the next area to watch. Certainly on the path towards that level, we can see that the index could test the 200 EMA here, and then yep, if that doesn't kind of stop the acceleration here, we could see the 21,450 level getting hit. Certainly slightly above that, we do have some other good potential areas of resistance, maybe more like less relevant, but still something to keep an eye on. But then after that, after the 21,450 level, the kind of next potential area of resistance could be seen here next to the 21,955 zone. So as you can see here, it was marked by the high of the 8th of August. So something like this could be possible, of course. For now, like I said, we are going to remain more to the upside. Let me just put a few arrows here. So something like this. Of course, we're not gonna rush into all these higher levels. We're just gonna go step by step. And first, of course, we're gonna aim for the 21,150. If we're gonna get a nice break and a close above that level, well, keep your eyes on this 21,450 level marked here by the high of the 10th of August. So something for you guys to keep an eye on. On the downside, well, certainly for us, we would need to see a good strong move back down here, and eventually maybe a break and a close below this downside support line that I was just talking about. So only then probably we're gonna start considering much lower levels. But for now, like I said, it is looking more bullish than bearish. Let's jump into a few pairs now. So the first one I want to quickly touch on, and that's Aussie Dollar. Now Aussie Dollar is getting a nice boost here today. Let's jump into the daily chart. We can see what's happening, and as you can see, so it found its low here, found its support near the 0.7145 mark today, and we can see that it pushed higher. It broke some key levels, and now it's aiming for the 0.7235 level. I was talking about this pair in one of my previous videos here recently, and I was telling you guys to keep an eye on this zone here, the 0.7235, marked here by the highs of the 4th of September. Because if we're going to get a nice break here and a break and a close above this, certainly it is opening the possibility of a potential move higher here. But don't forget that we do have this downside downwards moving resistance line from the peak of the 26th of January. So keep your eyes on that one. Even though, like I said, even though if we're going to get a nice break and a close above the 0.7235, still the upside could be limited. We could see rejections here coming into play near this downside resistance line. But to be honest, if this gets a break, if we get a nice close above this downwards moving resistance line, then, well, we could potentially start aiming for higher levels. But for now, certainly all eyes are on this level here in the 0.7235. Let's see how it behaves with that one. If it continues to push higher, that's wonderful. If suddenly this reverses back down, now certainly let me just kind of adjust a few levels here. Certainly this actually becomes a bit irrelevant now, and the area to watch for those who are going, let's say, like to trade short term, keep your eyes on this potential little area of support near the 0.7140 mark. Now keep your eyes on that one, because if we get a nice break here and a close below that level, now this is where it could become interesting for the bears, and we could see further drop towards the 0.7085 zone, which was marked here by the lows of the 11th of September. So but that's what's in regards to the downside. Until we of course see that move here, we're gonna stick to the upside here and aim for the 0.7235 zone. So keep your eyes on that one, guys. Let's jump into GBPUSD quickly. Certainly not much to talk here, as apart from that it continues to push higher. Certainly had a nice boost yesterday, and we can see that now it's currently testing the area near the 100 EMA here, shown as the green line, as you can see. So for now, this is going to be the one to watch, and if we're gonna get a nice break here to the upside, let me just jump into the 4-hour chart in order to have a look where we could potentially go further. Now this is an interesting formation here in spot, and the way it's kind of showing here. So basically we are trading slightly above this, or actually we're trading above this upside support line taken from this the 5th of September, and now it's actually at a very nice spot, sweet spot for those bulls, because it's kind of showing that it wants to continue pushing higher. So the 131.65 zone is going to be the one to watch for now and for today, because if we get a nice break and a close above that level, now this is opening the path towards some higher levels. Now the next potential target here is the 132.15. So the 132.15 was marked here by the highs that we saw around 25th of July. So keep your eyes on that one. Of course, like I said, for now, just it seems that it wants to continue pushing higher. Let's see if it actually does that. If it suddenly reverses back to the downside, so for those short-term traders here, keep your eyes on this little level right here near the 131.40 zone, because a nice good break and a close below the 131.40 could open the path slightly towards the a possible test of this upside support line, which, let's say, if it doesn't hold, if it this time we'll see a break and a close below that, well, we could see a bit of declines here, a bit of a correction to the downside, where we could aim for the 130.55 level again, or maybe even lower a little bit, somewhere around this zone near the 129.75 area. So for now, of course, it's looking more bullish than bearish, so keep your eyes on this 131.65 zone. Let's jump into USDJPY quickly, and USDJPY is also at a very interesting spot here, still trading above this short-term upside support line here, taken from the 6th of September, and now we're just going to keep a very close eye on it, because yes, we did have a nice move here to the upside. We broke some key levels of resistance. Let me just put a daily chart back on here, and as you can see, now the daily candle is forming as a positive one right now. It seems that it wants to push a bit higher, but for us, to be honest, to start considering higher levels, we would need to see a nice good break here above this 112.15 level, so in order for us to kind of start considering higher levels for the near term. So something like this could be possible, guys, and if we do get a break and if we do get a nice close above this 112.15, then, well, keep your eyes on this next potential area of resistance near the 113.15. so mark here by the highs that we saw around the 18th of July, 18th and the 19th of July, so something like that. But like I said, for now, just be very careful, and let's keep an eye on the 112.15 level on the upside. On the downside, for us to start examining lower levels, we would need to see a nice good break here below this short-term upside support line, and actually a break below this this area of support near the 111.65, because this way a break below this could and especially a close below this could confirm further declines, where we could start aiming for the 111.10 mark, so which was the zone seen here near the lows of the 12th of September. So something like this could be possible, of course, but for now, as you can see, the daily candle is trying to push higher. The USDJPY is getting a push, so let's see actually if it actually breaks this 112.15 level. And the last pair that I really wanted to touch on, and this is the EURGBP. Now the EURGBP, looking at the daily chart, continues to trade, well, actually let me rephrase that a little bit. It broke the upside support line that I was just wanted to say that it continues to trade above it, but that's not true. So it broke nicely this upside support line taken from the low of the 15th of June, and certainly we can see that we had this nice decline here to the downside, where the pair met its support near the 0.8875 mark. Now this was proved to be a nice good area of support from which we can see that the Euro GBP kind of bounced back to the upside, and now it's testing its resistance level that in the past acted as a support, and the area here is near the 0.8895. Now if this continues to push higher, certainly we can start aiming for higher levels. Let me just get rid of this one. This is no longer relevant. We could start potentially aiming for these highs that we saw here recently, actually last week. So, and that's near the 0.8935 mark. So keep your eyes on that. Of course, for now we're just gonna continue monitoring this level here, because you can see that it's testing this 0.8895 zone. If it gets a push higher, certainly this could be, and if we, let's say if we get a nice close above this level today, then we could potentially aim for the 0.8935 zone, or even actually going back higher here towards the this upside support line that we broke through recently, and this support line could act as a nice area of resistance, initial resistance of course, and maybe the bears could see this as a nice opportunity to jump in and move lower again. So for now, of course, be very careful with this one. With the downside here, just to quickly mention, we need to see a nice good break here below the 0.8875 in order to kind of aim for lower levels. But to be honest, on the downside here, looking at this daily chart, this is where the rate could stall a little bit initially, because near the 0.8855, because we do have this 200 EMA passing through here, and like I said, this area here could stall the rate initially before it kind of, or should I say, until the bulls and the bears figure it out where they want to go and who's going to take the driver's seat from there. So okay guys, so that's it for this session. If you want to join me later on at my Traders Tea Time, I will be expecting you. So and that's 13:15 GMT time, 14:15 British Summer Time. I hope you found it useful, and thank you very much, and bye bye.